Most homeowners hire an interior designer far too late in the process. They've already called the contractor and hired them. The plans are drawn. Some materials are ordered, or worse, expensive mistakes have already been made. People think designers come in at the end to decorate, put in pillows and, maybe make an accent wall. But the real design begins what long before the furniture and paint colors. The earlier a designer is involved, the more money, stress, and regret you will avoid. The biggest misconception that most people have are architects create the homes and the contractor builds it, and then the designer comes and picks finishes and paint colors. But that's not how truly cohesive homes are created. The designer is often the person connecting the architecture, the lifestyle, the function, the flow, the lighting, the materials, furniture planning, and the emotional experience. And the designer is not just making things beautiful. An interior designer like myself is making thousands of decisions work together. So when is the best time to hire an interior designer? The ideal time is before renovation plans are finalized, before contractor estimates, before walls move, before the electrical plans, before plumbing locations, before cabinetry orders, because every selection, every decision affects another. Furniture placement is going to affect the outlet placement. But if you've already hired the contractor and you're done it, you've probably put the outlet placement there in place, and now it's going to affect your furniture layout. The lighting placement is going to affect your ceiling design. You want to make sure you have good lighting. And cabinet sizes affect appliance choices. Flooring impacts transitions and flow, and window placement can affect furniture, scale, placement, and the kind of window treatments you want to use. And of course, you've not done construction before, so you don't know. But once construction begins, every change becomes more expensive. Every change is a change order, and it's way cheaper and easier to move lines on paper than to move walls after construction starts. So early planning is going to create confidence, give you the clarity. It's going to allow for smoother timelines, fewer surprises, and better contractor coordination. When there is a vision and it starts with your designer and she can get everybody on board, then the contractor knows what he's doing. So what happens when people do wait too long? Well, they get a beautiful kitchen, but no proper furniture layout. I had a client, they already had the plans, they had poured the foundation, and they were just getting ready to build and frame out the home. And then they had a stall. But at this point, they had called me and said, "Oh, we want to work with you to make sure we get all the right furniture, etc." And I was so glad they did. And there was a stall in construction because of the contractor. But I said, "Well, let's see your plans." And they had a beautiful new home they were so excited about. And the wife was dying to have a banquet. She wanted to have a banquet so she could have all her kids and future grandkids and friends all hanging out in the kitchen, because the kitchen is the heart of the home. Like, right here, we're going to put a banquet right in this corner, right off the kitchen. But there were two doors that were swinging into the kitchen, into this area that was where the banquet. Well, where are you going to put the banquet? How are we going to put chairs here? We could, if we put chairs and a table, these doors and the swing of these doors are going to impact. You're not going to be able to open the doors. They're going to impact where the furnace can be. And we were fortunate enough to catch this in time. Well, we eliminated some doors. We reworked that area. She got her beautiful built-in banquette. It's so wonderful. But had she not called me? So lighting that's centered incorrectly where we're putting things. The lighting is done incorrectly. Whereas at my client's house, he had a new construction. He was there for the end of the construction, and he calls me when they close. Okay, I'm done. Like, I want to start talking about furniture for the place. I walk in to see the place. The lighting over the Unfortunately, this was an easy fix, but the lighting over the kitchen island was so low that when you stood there, you were looking into the lighting. So you couldn't see across the room. You couldn't see the TV that was in the open great room that they had. And you couldn't look across and see someone sitting at the counter. When people wait too long to work with an interior designer, furniture can be ordered too small. There's no electrical for future needs. Like, oh, we want to have automatic windows, window treatments. Finishes selected separately with no cohesion to it. Rushing decisions because contractors are waiting. They are on a schedule. And then budget blowing on low impact items because they need to get what is readily available. And most renovation stress is not caused by construction. It's caused by unclear decision making. When there's no overall vision, homeowners start reacting instead of designing. I've had clients call me halfway through renovations completely overwhelmed because every decision suddenly feels disconnected from the last one. And at that point, now we're solving problems instead of strategically building the vision from the beginning. Why early design actually saves money? This is important because many people think hiring a designer is an extra expense. But good design is not an added cost. Poor planning is. Savings mean with working with a designer means that we're not reworking things. We're not ordering wrong items. We're not creating delays. We're prioritizing the investment. And instead of being driven by trends or the next shiny objects, we're eliminating impulse design decisions and making sure that the investment goes towards high impact choices. The goal is not just to spend money. That's easy to do. The goal is to spend it intentionally. As a designer, I know where to splurge. I know where you're going to save the money, what's going to create the biggest impact, and what quietly wastes the budget. When else should you hire an interior designer? Before buying a home, before building a home, before starting renovation, during life transitions, your growing family, your downsizing, your empty nesters, work from home changes, when the house no longer feels functional, your lifestyle has changed. When the home feels disconnected, that room doesn't make sense with that room, and we're not using this room over here. Or when the choices are feeling overwhelming. Most people wait until they are frustrated. The smartest clients hire a designer before frustration begins. Your home impacts how you feel every single day. The earlier you create a clear vision for it, the smoother and more successful the entire process becomes. Interior design is not about making last minute selections. It's about creating a cohesive plan that guides every decision from the beginning. And if you're thinking about renovating or building or even purchasing a new home, now is the time to start the design process, not halfway through the construction. At Walden Interiors, we can help homeowners like yourself create a clear vision before the overwhelm begins so that the entire process feels intentional, cohesive, stress-free. If you like this video, subscribe, comment, share. You can schedule an initial design consultation with us. The link is in the bio. Visit our website. We give lots of information. Comment with any renovation questions. We'd love to hear from you. And if you like this video, stay for more.